Ghana's fight against illegal mining was given a boost as armed forces partnered French military for intense jungle warfare training to equip Ghanaian soldiers to wage war on armed illegal miners. The Ghana Armed Forces have partnered with the French military for intense jungle warfare training to equip Ghanaian soldiers wage a more effective war against illegal mining. The French and Ghanaian armies have for weeks now been engaging in live training in the jungle at Achiase Jungle Warfare Training School in their quest to combat armed illegal miners. My colleague Gemma Apia spent a day with the troops and reports.
Gunshots ringing out at the jungle village inside the Jungle Warfare School as Ghanaian soldiers undergo specialized training aimed at fighting illegal mining.
In a real combat situation. So, in a real combat situation, when I get shot at short range in a jungle environment, the first thing I'm going to do, because
the exercise is being conducted in partnership with the French military, who have joined the Ghana Army in the jungle for weeks of intensive training. The program focuses on 4 key areas designed to strengthen the fight against illegal mining. France was selected for this exchange program because of its experience tackling illegal mining in French Guyana, one of its overseas territories.
A bit slower, but with more precision.
So for the past 3 weeks, personnel from the Ghana Army, we understand 38 soldiers and 5 military officers drawn from different units across the country have been here at Achiase, the Jungle Warfare School, and I'm inside the bush, and the personnel of the Ghana Army plus the French military, 16 of them, have been training, exchanging ideas and focusing on how to shoot with precision, how to apply first aid, and also how to even arrest people, particularly illegal miners. Commander of the Army Training Command, Brigadier General Joshua Amano, explains that the soldiers undergoing the training are not currently part of NIMOS. He notes that troops on active NIMOS operations cannot be withdrawn for training, but due to routine rotations, these soldiers could soon be deployed to apply the skills they have acquired.
Now, the NIMOS is in operation, and so sometimes it is not good to pull out the forces who are deployed in the field. So this next group are prepared to be able to take over from those who are already in the field. Remember that when you deploy troops, after a while, we do what we call relief in place. So you change them, you rotate them.
The head of the French military team, Lieutenant Nicolas, says the engagement has been mutually beneficial, stressing that while his team has shared expertise, they're also leaving Ghana with added skills.
It's been very interesting. We showed our way to the Ghanaian, but the most interesting part was learning how they do it, and I think we learned a lot from those 3-week course.
What are some of the things that you learned from the Ghanaians and what the Ghanaians also learned from you?
Well, we learned a lot about jungle survival. They are very strong in this area.
The Ghanaian soldiers say the French doctrine is not very different from what they are already used to, but acknowledge they have picked up new skills that will help them more effectively combat illegal mining.
Although our doctrine is not far from them, but we are also taking something out of what we are learning so far.
Describe what you have learned that you were not used to as a military officer in Ghana.
Okay, tactically, what I will say is it is not different from ours, but at least we've learned something small.
As a soldier, when we are going for a war or operation like this, normally we may have an injured person among us. So now they have taught us how to provide improvised structure, which are very good. That one I've learned it a lot.
So how ready are you to fight Galamsey?
Oh, we are ever ready. In fact, with the Ghana Army, we were already in good position to fight the illegal mining. But with this training, the essence of this training is to sharpen our skills and improve upon our capability. Jamana aho! Ahoya! Aho! Ahoya! Combatant!
Everywhere!
Everywhere!
Combatant!
Ready to kill!
Ready to die!
Ready to die!
Ready to kill!
What makes the grass grow?
Blood! Blood! Blood!
What makes the champol grow?
Sweat! Sweat! Sweat!
Gentlemen, show John News and Ghanaians your war face!
Yeah!
Jangler! 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 Live, fight or die hard! Ahua! Server!
Silver!
Server!
Silver!
Server!
Silver!
Galamperos, we are coming.
All right, so these military officers and soldiers are ready to fight illegal mining, the country's biggest problem. Reporting from the Jungle Warfare School in Achiasi in the Eastern Region, my name is Gemma Apia for Joy News.
Server!
Silver!
And human activity is taking a heavy toll on wildlife at Ghana's premier conservation site, Molin National Park. The park, home to more than 700 elephants, 9 amphibian species, 33 reptiles and over 300 bird species, is increasingly under threat. Encroachment, destructive farming practices, poaching and rampant bush burning are degrading habitats and placing immense pressure on the park's wildlife. The Savannah Regional Minister, Salisu B. Aurabe, has expressed deep concern about the situation.
Molin National Park is the biggest protected area in the country, established some 68 years ago. It has land size of 4,577 square kilometers that covers 3 regions, Savannah, Northeast, and the Upper West regions, making it Ghana's largest wildlife refuge. It covers 5 political districts in the 3 aforementioned regions. The park, which shares borders with 33 communities, has rich flora and fauna. As part of the climate evidence stories on Joy News, I took a trip to the Molin National Park to speak with the authorities on the effect of humans on wildlife at the park, which invariably snowballed into climate change. We were conducted around some parts of the park by the Chief Wildlife Guide, Gilly Robert Tendana.
We have 94 species of mammals in the park. Over 700 elephants in the park. 4 different species of monkeys. 360 birds. And then what we are doing doesn't mean we are going to see all. It's a game of chance. So we are trying to see what nature will give us.
Public Relations Officer Benjamin Kusi Agbano further shared information on the different bevy of animals that are on the park.
We have over 94 species of mammals. We have over 330 bird species. We have 9 amphibians and 33 reptiles. We also have some butterfly species, over 300 butterfly species and all that. We also have elephants, which is one of our key animals in the park. Although it is mammal, but when we are talking about it, we treat it as special because most people come into the park because of elephants. We have over 700 individual species of elephants. So Mole is very, very diverse. We have the carnivores, we have the herbivores, we also have the nocturnal animals like the leopard, the hyena, the caracal, the genetic civet cat, the porcupine, a whole lot of animals you could talk of.
The survival of these mammals, reptiles, and birds, however, are under threat because of the activities of humans living closer to the reserve. Illegal logging of trees, bush burning, poaching, and harmful farming practices that involves the spraying of chemicals dangerously affects the animals. The consequences of these human activities have serious effects on the animals, resulting in them contracting diseases, in some cases, deaths. Assistant Community Collaborative Resource Management Officer Mohamed Sani Zainab posited that the siting of communities closer to the park has negative effects on the survival of the animals.
When we're coming like this, you could see that some of the animals at the side of the car, they ran. So this is some of the things. Usually then the community members used to say, oh, we've been seeing elephants, we've been seeing these particular animals, but because of the encroachment, they hardly see this wildlife within them. So this is why it's not advisable for them to encroach. Though the majority of them farm closer to the park boundaries, that is why the issues of human-wildlife conflict is rampant when it comes.
Worst of them being the extinction of some animal species from the park. Law enforcement officer at the Moli National Park, Martin Ndego Abodeba, noted that the illegal logging of economic trees has adverse effect on the rain pattern, thereby increasing the risk of climate change in the area.
Now you experience that those days we say from this time to this time we are supposed to get rain, it doesn't come. But when we are able to protect the areas such that it is maintained, nothing comes into it, like to destroy the ecology or the ecosystem, then we will help in doing that to reduce the climate change that we are experiencing now in the country and even beyond.
A view shared by the acting Upper Regional Director of the Environmental Protection Authority, Jonas Pierre-Core.
But because of our human activities, we are no more able to predict even our rainfall pattern. It's not erratic. It comes as and when. Some years we get half of what we're supposed to have gotten, though the water may be the same. But because there are no trees to protect the ground, everything evaporates. Even the runoff also run into the sea or into the streams, also run into the rivers. And at the end of the day, we have problems of water.
Mind you, the importance of these habitats of the park goes beyond its tourism value or use as a meat for the people by its agricultural purposes as well. Public Relations Officer of the Wildlife Division of the Forestry Commission, Ernestina Adumia Enim, gave an insight on it.
If you can remember, when we were young, we had something called atono. You know, that insect that we put rope on and it flies, and then we follow it. Now you cannot find them, and they are the insects that were doing pollination for us. So clearing a large area and not utilizing the land is not very proper for us. We have to do it in the right way, do agriculture in the right way, and leave the animals.
Savannah Regional Minister Salasobe Awurubi was expressing concern on the effect of human activities on wildlife at the Moli National Park, outlined some measures taken to help curb it.
We are working together with other partners to see what alternative livelihood programs which can be given to the communities and inhabitants around the fringes of this reserve so that they can engage themselves economically. We are equally trying to do additional education for which the people living around will treasure the reserve as their own and adapt and accept them as they are. And that would also be positive for the livelihood of the reserve.
The cruel reality, however, is the low number of staff tasked to enforce laws to prevent encroachment and other conflicts that may occur between the animals and humans. There is a need to increase the numbers to save these indigenous species from going extinct.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Moli National Park, Moli.
This story is brought to you by Joy News in partnership with CDKN Ghana, University of Ghana Center for Climate Change and Sustainability Studies, with funding from Claire R4I Opportunities Fund.